Hello, 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 gamers. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. And we are here for another draft of Final Fantasy. Really been enjoying a lot of the format. We're probably about 30 drafts in or so now, about a week after release. And format's incredible. Format's super fun. I've trophied with just about everything I can think of. No red green. That hasn't really done it yet, but I have seen some trophies of red green. We just had a red-white trophy, which was a little bit unsurprising, but also a little bit surprising, as I don't think it's particularly good, but the deck we had was pretty busted, so that's always nice. Love me some red-blue. I'm a red-blue gamer now, apparently. Always have been a little bit, but we're here for red and blue cards, and this card seems very good for green and blue, because it's a 4-cost non-creature. Also happens to wipe the board if you have a creature, but we're going to go ahead and take that Nibelheim of Flame. I've never actually played this card. I've never even had it played against me. So it's going to be a little interesting and see what happens. We could go with something like Gyashi Greens, which just plays well in that red green. We also have Travel the Overworld, which is great with a board wipe. I see Fang, which is good, but not incredible. Same goes for like Corner by Black Mages. So I think we just take this Travel the Overworld. Get into some towns. We don't even necessarily have to be in like blue-red towns. We could be like 4 or 5 color or Temur towns or something like that. Realm sketching I'm very high on, but apparently some other folks are less high on. Dragoon's Wyvern plays very well in general. Fat Chocobo also very good. Both of these things just happen to also kill off their tokens with the Nibelheim of Flame. And I don't know if I want to just jump right into 3 colors right away. So I'm going to take the Dragoon's Wyvern because it is an attacker and a blocker. It's easy just to kind of get some value out of it. If we have any at all, any sort of equipment, this thing carries that very well. Fire Crystal I think is kind of trash. Sleep Magic is pretty good. So is the Blazing Bomb, right? So both of these things are where I want to be. Ice Flan I don't mind, but I've been lower and lower and lower on all of the island cycling, or excuse me, all the land cycling, because I want all my lands to kind of come in right away, and paying 2 to go get them is tough. Okay, Stuck in Summer's Sanctum is very good. Sephiroth's also very good. We could just kind of move into blue-black, but if we're in blue-black, I think I want the Summoner's Sanctum anyway, so if we're looking at those 2 cards, it's tough to pass up the Stuck in Summer's Sanctum, at least the first one. White Auracite, also something to note, in pick 5. It's a little late, but like it's kind of right around where, I mean, I usually wouldn't pick that up anywhere between 2 and 5, so it's not unreasonable, but somebody else is going to be seeing it as a sign, I'm sure. Combat Tutorial looks great. Call the Mountain Chocobo looks great. I think the Chocobo is what we want because it is both a spell that costs 4. It has flashbacks, so we kind of get 2 of those. Plus, it gives us a creature for the Nibelheim of Flame and solidifies us into that red-blue archetype, which we love. Absolutely adore. Vivi, obviously, one of the biggest things that we want to be taking in red-blue. Also, Tella, which is the 5-mana mage that cares about that kind of stuff, is good. And Shantoto, who is the 04 in blue-red at uncommon. That one's also exactly where we're at because every time we cast, those non-creature spells, we're starting to get value out of that. Another one that we like a lot is Sahagin, which is a 2-mana 1/3 merfolk that gets +1/+1 counter. I'm big on the Blazing Blast, that 1-drop that we passed earlier. I'm big on that one, but some folks are less so, just because it continues to grow, but it's a little bit low impact early on. Whereas like the 1/3 is good pretty much all the time. I'm also a big fan of the Kikirin Merchant, which is that 1/4 that draws cards based on towns. Like it's 7 to draw cards if you sacrifice it. So I'm looking here at both the Ishgard, if we happen to be splashing white, return up to 2 target artifact enchantments. That's both a 5-cost sorcery, which is good. But then also artifacts and enchantments are good. We don't have any yet, but we could. Alternatively, Adventures in plays really well to Travel the Overworld. And so I think I'm just going to take this because I have really enjoyed it. It's a cheap and easy way to do that. Yeah, this Blazing Bomb. Scorpion Sentinel and Blazing Bomb both looking good here. I think we can find some other 2s like Sahagin if we can try to do that. Otherwise, the Emperor of Palamecia, a pretty incredible one as well. All those like good gold cards, Emperor of Palamecia, Shantoto, and Vivi, and like Tella, like they all are exactly the kind of thing we want to be choosing with Nibelhelm of Flame. So I'll be really on the lookout for pretty much any of them, even though it may wipe the rest of our board. Keeping that one huge threat is big. All right, pick number 9. A couple of options here for us. We see the Dreams of Laguna, which is like a good early play, but also a 4+ from the graveyard, which is nice. The Summon GF Efreet has been very good, but also not incredible. And then Sandworm, I feel like, is more of a top end rather than sort of a mid tier. And if we're going to be going over the top with things like Nibelhelm and Travel the Overworld, I don't mind this card. I certainly will take it at some points, but it's not exactly something I'm really looking for. So I'm going to take this Dreams of Laguna, get that non-creature spell in there. Gold Saucer kind of works as, again, another town. Monk's Fist is a non-creature spell altogether. Magic Damage I don't mind having in, like, the 75. I'm going to start with the Gold Saucer here and see if, we don't really grab any other colorless towns. Then we'll probably run 2. We'll probably run these 2 and hopefully pick up a couple of blue-red towns to make them work. World map, I guess, here, just in case we have a third color that we need to splash into. I've been lower and lower on world map, but if I'm playing 3 colors, I do play it. I like it a lot more than the cyclers because it gets us those 3 colors. I haven't really ever searched up a town for it, but if I had, I guess, like the blue-green town that flips over, I might go search that up. Resentful Revelation, again, flashes back for 4+. It's not really something that we're in right now, but we're going to play it over Iron Giant, I would imagine. We already have 1 world map, so I'm going to take this Haste Magic. Again, likely won't play it, but if we get something like a Vivi, then you can almost use this as like a ritual that draws a card. Water Crystal's likely no good. So here's the toughie, right? Like, Quistis Trape, very good with stealing stuff from your opponent while also casting Travel the Overworld or something like that again. Also, Ice Magic, extremely powerful. Usually in these cases where I'm like, both of these cards are incredible, I usually take the more rare one or the cheaper one. Now, Ice Magic is cheaper too, but we really want to be casting it at 4. So I'm going to take the very first Quistis Trape. If I already had one, because it's a legend, that would likely put me back over into Ice Magic. But this is a real toss-up. I could see either one going. This is a Brainstorm, which I'm not against. Prompto also looking very good. Ultima, I think, is likely not very good unless you're in like super big blue-green. And then I see a Suplex down here as well. Taking a look, we actually have a couple of creatures, but none really care about the 4+ other than the bomb. But Prompto's not really one of the big payoffs for it as well. Like just getting a treasure, not really it. So I think I'm going to take this Suplex and make sure that we don't die to some early threats from our opponent, and then hope that we can wheel something like the Prompto. Another Ultima. That's incredible. Thunder Magic looks pretty incredible here, right? It is a 4, but also can just be a shock. This thing kills most stuff in the format. It's great for triggering your things. Keep big on Thunder Magic. Lots of green stuff. Lots of good stuff. We see, obviously, Summon Titan, Colosseum Behemoth. Those are pretty incredible. World Map is still around. Hill Gigas I'm pretty low on. And Valkyrie Area Unit also not huge on. I might take this Summon Titan as like a big speculation. We already technically have World Map, so that way we have 1 green source. I know it's double greened, but if we end up getting the right amount of towns, then this is the kind of thing that also works for towns. This is a town. I'm not real happy with that town because we already have 2 colorless towns, and I'm not seeing a lot of dual lands, so I'm probably going to pass this for now. Black Mage's Route, another one we could think about if we wanted to go down like Resentful Revelation and go that route, but I think I'm going to take this Kieran Mage as like a backup Travel the Overworld and also a good blocker to get us where we're going. Ice Flan is fine. We see another couple of good green cards, but I'm just going to take this Call the Mountain Chocobo. That's going to continue on, like we said, with Nibelhelm of Flame. It keeps us getting to more and more mana, pulling that stuff out of our deck. Maybe we want this Capital City. I don't think I want a second Kieran Mage or Merchant. My Sidian Elder, also a very reasonable card, but not really anything we want. You want a lot of 2s or things that care about 4+. So I guess we are going to take this Capital City as a potential green source. Town Greeter is fine, but not particularly with where we want to be here. We're looking at another first Light of Judgment or second Stuck in the Summoner's Sanctum. I think this just being cheaper is worth it. We don't really have a lot of payoffs for 4+, so as of right now, we're more so in like tempo. This Ice Magic came back, which is great. I think I'm going to take this Scorpion Sentinel over the Hill Gigas. It blocks early, it turns on late into a 4/4, which is pretty great. Sorceress Schemes, I've never cast this card. I suppose there's a world where we would want it for like a Travel the Overworld. But that seems a little sketchy to me. Take this Assault Unit. Unless we get a bunch of equipment, I don't think we're going to play the Assault Unit, but it's how it goes. Yeah, we've got a couple of threats like the Scorpion Sentinel and the Blazing Bomb, the Dragon's Wyvern, that aren't particularly potent, but like if you just keep drawing removal and bounce and all that, then you can make your way, tempo your way through the deck. Moving on to pack 3, we get a dud rare, green and black uncommons. Wow, really a dud pack. This is not good. Not good at all. We don't even really have that many creatures for final days either. We've got 5 creatures. So I wonder if this is like a Sabatender or also something like a Zidane would be a very powerful splash. So I think we're going to try Zidane and see what that looks like. Traveling Chocobo, okay. I believe I am flipping that from a red splash to a green, or a white splash to a green splash. Get this in here. Traveling Chocobo, very powerful card. Pulling cards at the top, we see an Eject, which is very good. That's a 4+, but also draws a card, can't be countered, bounces something. That's phenomenal. Call the Mountain Chocobo again. I think I don't want a third one because then you're just going to run into mountains. And I think this either Dreams of Laguna or the Capital City is fine. We could probably play Capital City over like Golden Saucer. But I think I'm just going to continue on with playable cards. Thief's Knife, very good. Just snag that. Otherwise, Gladiolus is a good top end. Goes and gets a town. I'm going to stick with more of a tempo strategy here with Thief's Knife. I pick up another Dragoon's Wyvern. Yeah, we never really got there. I feel like there's another blue-red player, and they got all the payoffs, and we got like all the spells. Right? Eject, Call, Dreams of Laguna, all that. Now here is both a spell and a payoff that I don't mind. This one being a 5/3 with Crew 2. I don't know if we'll play that one or not, but we'll see. I think it's worth the take. Cloak of the Icon, or Clash of the Icons. That one's pretty good, but I'm also seeing this town over here that is 3 colors. So I'm going to take this because it's going to be better fixing. And we don't really have any sagas. I know we've got the one saga that like matters, but we don't want to like have mill 5 cards again. So we're going to take our town, move on. Sabatender, not unreasonable, but also Airship Crash, not unreasonable. So we're going to take the Airship Crash. I don't think we have enough towns for Poo Poo UFO. So we'll just take this adventure in. Might play that over the Golden Saucer, I guess. Just a little gain life. But also I'm thinking that our sources aren't enough. So we might end up playing like these 3. Maybe even in the Golden Saucer with the hopes that you might be able to hit a treasure token off of it. I really only want 2 colorless lands. But yeah, Chocobo Kick is good. I don't know if we play it right away, but it's a good one to have in the side. And it looks like our game plan is play a couple of early dudes, like the Bomb, the Sentinel, the Wyvern, and then go over the top with card advantage. Call the Mountain Chocobo, Nibble Hummel Flame on the flashback, Travel the Overworld is good. Yeah, we'll just grab this one here. And just sort of go that way. Hopefully Quistis Trape really picking over the top there as well. Grabbing something from our opponent or being able to flashback our own Travel the Overworld. Functionally for 2 or 3 mana, which seems great. Gyashi Greens. Probably don't want that one. And a Hill Gigas. All right, gamers, here's the build that we decided to go with. We actually brought in a little bit more of the green with this Gyashi Greens and Chocobo's Kick because the greens also does trigger some of those big spells, if we even have any. Now that I look at them, I don't think we even have a single payoff for it. So just a bit of card advantage out of this Gyashi Greens. Also, all of the Chocobos that we have do get doubled for any land that the Traveling Chocobo comes in. We are playing this world map mainly just to give us that 6th or 7th green source, kind of depending on how you want to count these capital cities. And overall, yeah, I think we're just going to be doing a bit of getting the lands out of our deck, playing them with Traveling Chocobo, and then also doing a Travel the Overworld. Going to be an interesting build. I've not done something like this before. All my blue-red builds have been like the 4+ mana on a non-creature spell, and have done very well. This one's going to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more tempo-oriented. Play some early threats, and then deal with all of our opponent's stuff while hopefully cashing up on it pretty quickly. 4 blue spells and no lands. That tracks. This one is fine. I think we get rid of one of these capital cities just fine. We're going to put Crossroads Village on green because we've got the other 2 just fine. And world map, I'm not super concerned about playing right away. Kind of depends on what happens here with this turn 2. Freya, very powerful. Sabatender, also good. Looks like opponent's just going after an aggro start. I don't mind playing this world map and doing it now, because then the more lands we actually pull out of our deck, the more we can end up cycling our capital cities, which can be good. We are going to go get a blue source because the Chocobo gets us a red source here, and then we also need double blue for the Travel the Overworld. Take little pings from both Freyr and Saboteur. Lion's Heart. Not particularly strong. I'm also noticing now that opponent's on 45 cards, which is a lot. Gonna grab this. We're gonna take our 2. Likely gonna wait for them to equip their Lion's Heart, hopefully, and then we can just Summoner Sanctum, whatever they equip it to. Okay. Yeah, I don't love stuck in the Summoner Sanctum on Sabatender because that means that they still get the pings from their lands, but at the same time, I don't know how many more lands they're going to have, and if they have lots of lands, then it's not that big of a deal for us. We can either take 3 this next turn, or we can just put Freya on top of the deck, and I think that's going to be the plan because we don't really have a whole lot of follow-up there. Like, if we go Ice Magic now, then call them a Mountain Chocobo, it's not that much bigger of a deal. Okay. I don't think this really much matters either because we've got all the lands in our hand just fine. Yeah, so we're just gonna Ice Magic this thing on top of the deck, which is my expectation that they'll keep it and do it again. We're gonna go get a forest, and so that way we can just play Summon Titan right away. And then our follow-up with the Call of the Mountain Chocobos is good, gonna be fine. Yep, they want it on top. Yep, we'll go fix for double green. We'll take our 3. Some medicine there. And then we'll play our Summon Titan. Nice. We had quite a few items there. And the reach, I think, is really going to be helping us out as far as Summon Titan is concerned. I'm hoping we draw a 3-mana spell that we're going to be able to cast, so we can just go like Dragoon's Wyvern into that, and then that gives us a bunch of blocks. Yeah, OP realizing what's happening here. I mean, they can hit us with this Sandworm as well, but then we're going to get back the land that they also kill. I believe it comes into play tapped, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is just ramping us. Yep, take action. We'll go get a mountain. We don't want to get a mountain. We'll get a forest. We don't want to get a mountain because Call of the Mountain Chocobo is going to draw it anyway. Yeah, we're just going to save our life total as best we can. Plus, we have a flying blocker this next turn, so we'll have 2 options to block Freya. Turn all to the graveyard. We'll put this on red. And then we'll play this and this. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there's a thought that we attack with the Summon Titan. Just put them to 13. And then do a big thing next turn anyway, but I guess I'm not completely sold on that quite yet. We'll see what happens. Because then any removal spell, and we're like pretty close to dead, like a removal spell plus land is like a very reasonable thing for them to have. And this next way we get to like flash back the Nibelheim Flame. I think it's discard to your hand and draw 4 cards. Which, not great, but also the Call of the Mountain Chocobos can flash back, and I don't really feel like we need super value out of them because it's not like we really need the lands anymore either. So very interesting gameplay going on here. The mill on Summon Titan actually worked out pretty incredibly. We drew 3 cards and then also hit 2 lands off of it. I don't think it really gets that much better. Yeah, alright. That would have been very good against us, but... Yep. Thunder Magic, sure. And then, like, no attacks, I guess? Yeah. And so now this gets huge to a 10-10. And we just flash it back. Choosing this. Remove both your creatures. We do draw 4 cards, which is kind of good, but also a little scary. I don't think we need to suplex that. It's just hope they don't draw something. Ooh, that's not... Alright. We're in. Okay. The question is whether we want to like suplex this and eject something, or we can just eject this and like Mountain Chocobo. I want to get this mountain out of my deck, I think, because then we can draw better gas. And I think I'm just going to eject Queen Brahan. Get him for 1. Because then also our Chocobo getting in there should help. Garland is a much better thing to be targeting with suplex. Yo, Gyashi greens? You don't say. Alright. That might actually make me want to hold our land. No, it's just much better for us to go like Wyvern into Dreams of Laguna. Oh, I miscounted my lands. Maybe we should have then. But I suppose we might have a 1-drop still? No, Thunder Magic's gone. Circle of Power. Okay. I have to wonder if maybe it was better, and I don't know this for a fact, but if they attack with Queen Brahm first, trade with us, then that gives them a wizard. They cast Circle of Power, and that pings us for 1, and then any non-creature spell is now lethal. But because they cast it before attacks, Queen Brahm has got like the prowess trigger, which is also fine, but also not super incredible. Chocobo Kick. We'll take that. No big trample trick in not green. Right? Green has the big trample trick. That looks like it's going to be good enough for us. Yeah, we'll just chocobo kick here. If we chocobo kick and kill off one of these guys, we just pick up our forest. Allows us to play the forest again. And now we've got a bunch of lethal threats. They go block, block. And we get there. Wow, after a bit of a rough start, we certainly did the grind, which is good. I think Blazing Bomb we want to have in, right? After seeing things like Freya and Queen Brahma and Sabatender, like that's a lot of stuff that we want to Blazing Bomb. Outside of that, Zidane still kind of works, and we kind of have our 3 sources with Capital City and Crossroads Village and even Golden Saucer. But I don't know if I want that or not. Let's see. I think I'm going to take the Gold Saucer out and put Adventures in because the 2 life is relevant. And we'll go there. Yeah, stick with that. All right, game 2. We're back. I see an opening hand that looks great, so we're going to keep this. We have something on 2. We've got a Traveling Chocobo on 3. All is good in the world. Hopefully we don't get run over by something super crazy, but a Red Mage's Rapier is something I am happy to see. I am not keen on that card particularly. Kikir and May Merchant, still looking good for us, I think. And it might actually be something where we play the Merchant first, and then we play Traveling Chocobo trying to hit the land on top. That's good for us. Spend your whole turn not really hitting us. Because the other key to it is the fact that the Merchant blocks this thing through 1 spell, and even if they double spell just to trade off, like that's good for us. I'm going to bin this because it's got flashback, and I don't think we really need the 2/2 right away. Just get a little bit of value there. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. We want to play the forest because that way we can play our Traveling Chocobo next turn before we play our land. And then hopefully hit a land off the top of the deck. Side quest, play Blitzball. Okay. Do I want to trade this? I kind of do, right? Like, there's very few things that they're going to have that have haste, and this just being a 3/1 is kind of big. So I'm going to play this Traveling Chocobo on the empty board now. We rip a land off the top, which is incredible. Super good for us. And hopefully now we can just sort of alternate lands and spells, as we rip the lands off the top and draw the spells into our hand. Queen Brawn, sure. Okay. Blazing Bomb looks good here. And I think I'm actually just going to Chocobo kick this so we can start attacking with it. And we also now have like Dreams of Laguna. Restoration Magic. You got it. This is worth a bounce in my opinion, because otherwise the Mage's Rapier plus the Blitzball, like all of it was just too much. And if they want to spend their turn putting Queen back on the battlefield, then we get a Blazing Bomb and it's going to look really good for us. Yeah, Danitha also looks very good for us. Because we just play Call of the Mountain Chocobo, I think. We put a counter on the Blazing Bomb. We grab an island off the top. We kill this. Now we get in for 3. And we can either cycle or play the Laguna. Obviously, we're just going to play the Laguna, so that way we can end up playing our town out if we need it. So we're going to play this. We're going to keep the eject because I think it's very powerful. Hit a world map off the top. Yeah, I think I'm going to cast this Dreams so we can keep this and draw it. See if we hit a land here. We did not. That's okay. We're going to suplex this. Get it out of here. Then we're going to play our mountain and our world map. Get in for 7, and then now in theory, any sort of like single spell, we can eject, play Capital City, and that's the game. Because Traveling Chocobo doubles our landfall triggers. Ah, all right. Well, we're gonna get taken for 7. It's gonna flip their side quest, which is huge, and I think it also equips there, which is extra big. But just playing a land off the top here, it looks like that is enough for lethal. Oh yeah. All right, gamers. We'll see you in round 2. All right, gamers. We are back for round 2 of our very interesting Temur Not Towns deck. World map really showing its worth here. We're going to keep because of that. And that's going to end up getting us a couple of different options. As we scale through our first couple of turns, we're going to probably go get an island and play that right away. And then on our 4th turn, if we still don't draw land, there's an opportunity for us to... Well, we did. There's an opportunity for us to do like Chocobo Kick, pick up a land, and then play our other 2-drop. Doesn't seem to be that it's particularly necessary there. Cecil, I think, plays well for us. We're going to hopefully get them kind of around 10-ish before we kill this thing, but we certainly will attempt our best to kill it. They are on 1 land, Cecil. Not particularly strong, if I remember correctly. So we're going to play some things out. Hope they continue to attack. And then just Chocobo Kick using the doubling, like having to pick up a land, not necessarily for the landfall, but just as a doubler. We are likely going to go world map next turn into Kikirin Merchant. And then those 2 things are going to be very easy to block this Renew and Rude. Yeah, that's fine. We do not want to go and put them to 12 because then attacking with Cecil puts them to 10 and then it flips. Which in theory, I guess it doesn't matter. It's a 4-4 at that point. But we're just going to put them to a 13 so they can go to 11 on their own. We're going to play the Merchant, and then we're going to use our world map to go find likely second blue source for Travel the Overworld. They play another Swamp. I wonder if they're on mono black, which is very real in this format if you get the Zodiark. That's kind of a big one that can work in your favor. Fang, sure. No cards leaving the graveyard anytime soon, it looks like. And now I'm thinking about it, I actually don't even mind if like Cecil flips, because then we just use our flyer to Chocobo Kick what's going on there. We're going to grab a island. Nibble Helm of Flame. Ugh. Alright, well. Very real. I think we go island. I think we're going to attack like this. Put them to 11. And then we might actually loot away this Nibelheim of Flame, because by the time that we get to, 7 mana, like that's not a big deal to just flash it back. We want to get to 7 mana anyway, and then like Scorpion Serpent can be a big deal. Jacked. Yikes. That is a good one. So I might actually have to kill that right away. Yep, my turn. Let's loot away. I think our Nibble Helm of Flame. Actually, it might be just his dreams and then flash it back. I like that quite a bit. So let's loot this away. Let's play the dreams. Let's surveil that away. So we have another one. We hit our island, which is great. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum is good. Like that quite a bit. That'll be a good one for Jecht here. That will be able to put him in the Summoner's Sanctum. If they want to end up taking 2 more damage to flip their Cecil, I think that's likely going to be good for us. Because that means it'll be tapped then. Right? It doesn't untap? Oh, no, it does untap. Okay, that is a bit of a bigger deal. Chocobo Kick is easily... Aramon is easily Chocobo Kicked. or Nibelheim Flamed if we go down that route. We want to do this now. But also just hitting a mountain means that we get to go like mountain Nibelheim Flame, target Scorpion Sentinel, and then wipe the board and have a 4/4. Yeah, we'll take the 2 here. This flips, that's fine. Thief's Knife. I don't think we need that right away, so we're gonna bin that. 7th land, I think, means that we're going to... Oh, we can play this. We don't even have to pick up a land. We can go Chocobo Kick here. And then get in with these 2. And if they want to trade the Ahriman with the Dragoon's Wyvern, that's fine. If they want to trade it with the Scorpion Sentinel, then that's fine. Because then they're... So if they trade it with the Wyvern, now they've got to figure out something to do with the 4/4 Sentinel that's beating them down, and they're going to 3. If they want to trade off their whole board, that's also fine with us. And if they just want to chump, then that's okay. But finally, if they wanted to trade the Ahriman with the Scorpion Sentinel, and then just take 2, like, this is also fine with us. Because now they're at 5, and they're getting beat down in the air. We also have we do have a Thunder Magic, which is something that could be... We could try to find with the Dreams of Laguna. But really what might happen is we end up like going Dreams, finding literally anything, and then pitching it with the Kikirin Merchant. Side quest, hunt the mark. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Merchant looking really good here as something that we can sack an instant speed to draw a bunch of cards. Eject. I'm going to pitch that. I don't think we want an eject. We also don't really necessarily want a forest, so I think I'm going to loot that away. Call the Mountain Chocobo, puts another thing on the board, also gets us that 2nd mountain, which is, I think, really important. Quistis Trape, very good. We can eject something, I guess, if we wanted to. Oh, that might be a really good tempo play. Let's just go Quistis Trape, and then we'll eject this thing. Draw a card. Oh, it's a mountain. Great. And then get in for 2, and like they go to 3 if they don't. Which is fine, I guess. This means that they can attack with Reno and Rude. They can sacrifice their own Ject, which is like, you know, good value for them. But now they have 0 blockers and are hoping to rip something off the top of our library. That seems pretty sketchy. We've got some good stuff, like a Summon Titan or whatever, but I don't know. Ha! Yeah, look at that. That's what they hit. I'm trying to think. Oh, they didn't cast it. All right. Oh, they can't cast it, right? This isn't any... If you do play the exile card... Oh, yeah. They could have cast it. They chose not to. Sephiroth's Intervention, sure. Okay, we are going to play our mountain now, so we can call the Mountain Chocobo. Go get the mountain. But then when we attack now, after attacks are done, we can Nibelheim Flame and kill off their thing. I was going to do it based on this, but actually I might do it based on this hero. So the hero is going to deal 1 to everything. And now if they want to spend their removal spell on the hero, then that's fine. The mountain we have in hand means the Chocobo is sort of, quote, lethal on its own. And if they play anything with 3 or less toughness like this thing, then we just play our land, Nibelheim Flame from the graveyard, and that wipes the board with everything but this merchant. So that's looking promising as well. Would be pretty tough into like Sephiroth's
intervention. But even if they spend like a whole turn killing this or whatever, then we just make another one. We don't get another mountain because there are no more mountains. But it's fine. Flashback, make it 2/2. It's fine. Fight on, get some stuff, lose a life, play a Cecil that can't block. Yeah, you got it, gamer. We don't have to do anything, right? Because if they block here like they should, then this thing blocks, there's a trigger that happens and they die. Because of Fang. Don't want to show them a bunch of other cards in our deck, so. Bonk, there it goes. Alright. What did we see in here that was crazy? We saw Cecil, which is like kind of powerful, but also kind of not powerful. Side quest was good. Jacked is like pretty busted. We've got some answers. We've got ejects. We've got stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. So I think we just sort of run it back. Run it back, huh? Huh? All right. Round 2. Game 2. Let's see where we're at. No threat, but obviously all these cards are pretty incredible. So we're going to stick with them. Yeah, Cecil's likely going to be something that is going to do both of us damage, which I think is good for us. Because if we don't have to spend cards on damage, then we can spend cards on other stuff, I guess. Yep. So long as we get it before it flips over. Which I think we can and will. Armon is good. I think we're going to continue to take the damage. We're going to Thunder Magic their 3-drop. Go search for a forest. And at some point here soon, we're just going to have to suplex this thing. Namazu Trader, sure. Yeah, I think as of right now, we want to cycle this capital city. Then this next turn, my plan, I think, is to Ice Magic this on top of their library. But I guess we'll see what they do. And then the following turn, like on our turn, we're going to go like suplex into something. Phantom Train. Yeah, it doesn't have haste, so we're going to Ice Magic this thing. So that way Phantom Train does not get a counter on it. And they can choose whether they want to put it on top of their library or not. And then we might actually have to suplex that train. Yeah, they go. So how this is likely going to work for us is they go to 11. We're going to suplex the train. Is that what's happening in the art too? Like this guy's going to grab a train and just throw it over his shoulder? That's pretty incredible if it is. Flavor win. Then we're going to Dreams and hopefully find something. Yeah. They're going to 8 on their own, which is like very precocious. Precarious? Precarious. Yep. Okay, gaining a little bit of life. That's good. Key Kieran Merchant probably isn't going anywhere. Mountain Chocobo. Quistis Trape. Looking good. So I think our plan is Well, we could like quick straight bounce this. Otherwise, I think what we're probably gonna do is just eject this. Put that down on green, and now we can follow up with like a Quistis and suplex on this. Fight on more stuff, huh? Tonberry. I wonder if Tonberry is getting sacrificed here to Surveil too. No, alright. Our graveyard, I think we might just Thunder Magic and take care of Namazu Trader. Because now also, if we draw our Nibblehelm of Flame, because now there's something that's doesn't have 4 toughness, I've just realized Cecil's going to flip again. I was going to say 4 toughness is kind of a key, because then our Call of the Mountain Chocobo has 3 power, and we go from there. Chocobo Kick doing work, but not going to do it, I think. Do this. Pitch that. Hiyashi greens, but we're out of green sources. Yeah, I feel like our draws didn't line up particularly well against them, so I think we might pull in this Blazing Bomb as something to have for us. Thief's Knife, we're not really an attacking deck, I suppose. Didn't either see either of our Dragoon's Wyvern, which they went pretty wide. I'm wondering if that would have been good for us. All right, game 3, match 2. Can we keep things moving? This looks great. I'm gonna play the Mountain to get this Blazing Bomb on. And now if like they play a Cecil right away, we can just suplex it. If they don't, we get to play this Village on blue, get in for 1. And we're sort of off to the races. We can play this Gold Saucer and start trying to make treasures. Tonberry. Two towns early also makes me feel really good about like the Kikirin mages and the Travel the Overworld. Flip a coin. Think. Oh. Thunder Magic. This is probably worth just going on like suplex here, killing this. We could kill Tonberry, but doesn't feel like it's particularly necessary right now. Second Ahriman. Okay, so if we go with something like Thunder Magic, we can still flip our coin for the Gold Saucer. Or hold up Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. Yep. Come on. What are the odds? Obviously, we're going to play our Merchant. I'm debating as to whether it's finally time to kill off this Tonberry, and I think the answer is yes, now that we've got something that, like, has problems with it. Because now this Merchant, outside of, like, a side quest to hunt the Merchant or whatever, I think it should be pretty easy for us. I mean, they could just straight kill it, but yeah, that's a little unfortunate. If we play the Ahriman right away, that's good for us to Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. Play the Tonberry. That kind of makes sense. All right, so that means that we're gonna Flip a coin. Tails again. I'm just going to cash this in right away. If we hit a tap land, that's going to be important. Otherwise, if we hit other things that we want to do, those are also going to be important. Quistis Trape kind of looking good at fight on. Get back Blazing Bomb. Otherwise, we could always just like suplex their thing. Gonna kind of depend on what we want to do here. Could go Traveling Chocobo, Quistis Trape plus Thunder Magic, even if we don't hit a land. Feels powerful. Let's start with Traveling Chocobo. See if we hit that land that we want. We do. So maybe we go like Quistis Trape. Probably into Suplex, I would imagine. Suplex this thing. Yeah. And assuming that they don't have like 2 kill spells, Eject plus Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum plus Sleep Magic feels like we should be able to tempo some people out pretty quickly. I'm noticing that we're a little short on blue mana though. Summon Anima. Yeah, that's good for us. Okay, we'll play this. I think I'm going to play Sleep Magic, target this. Because I think the idea of ticking them down in Phyrexian, Phyrexian Arena every turn is good for us in this immediate future. I don't know how good it is overall, but for like the next 2 turns, it's probably fine. And then worst case scenario, we can always like eject it if it's about to go off. Same goes for if they like drop a big Arden or something like that. We just eject it before the trigger goes. What you got, OP? Let's see. Let's see. Vayne's Treachery. That's fine. What's the 4th chapter here? Each opponent sacrifices a creature that chosen loses 3 life. That's not that big of a deal, I don't think. Circle of Power. I think that's good for us too. Puts them at 7. Okay. Shinra reinforcements. That's pretty good. It's going to gain them some life. It is going to put them to 10. Don't mind a Tonberry attack here. That's fine. I think we're just going to Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum the Shinra reinforcements. And it doesn't really force a chump block, but it also kind of forces a chump block a little bit. You know, like they're going to 5 down to 4. If it's something that's like scary to them, you have to do something about it. Also, Ice Magic on Tonberry, putting it on top of his library is like very, very powerful force right now because he doesn't really want to draw a Tonberry. Tonberry is obviously very good early in the game, and having to play it again is not great. You know what this deck needed? This deck needed a Choco Comet. Yeah, we definitely needed like one big sort of fireball over the top spell. Arena and Root is fine. Eject is fine. Abed's Salvagers, I think is fine. I mean, like, not a whole lot we can do about it, but we're gonna pop one of these things on top of our opponent's library, and it might be this Salvagers, I think. Yeah, we'll pitch that. Draw something else. That was a good draw. Let's pop a Ice Magic here. Then I think we can also see if we can make a treasure token, which could be helpful. Yeah, we finally got there. Are we ejecting Ject? Or are we ejecting the Anima, which means they can't really play it? Ject flipping over is pretty bad for us though, right? When it deals combat damage to a player. I still think that's going to be pretty bad. So let's do this. And then they're almost assuredly going to block our 2/2. This puts them down to 3. And so if we go like Wyvern and Scorpion Sentinel. A lot of hullabaloo going on here. Which means that we're going to lose 3 life, sacrifice this thing. Tonberry takes us to 5, but with these 2 things still on board, like if that's what they've got, I don't really know what other card they could have. Oh, they could have the God that makes us sack half our stuff after this, right? Whenever creature you control, so that would put them up to 4, but then we sack these 2 things, and that's it? I don't know if it really matters, huh? If it's because it's non-god creatures, I suppose, like fight on. Sure. Play your 6-drop or play your other card. Yeah, I mean that doesn't really do it for us. Or for them. Because they don't have any answers to flyers and they can't get rid of my Dragoon's Wyverns. Card that I have been maligning a bit myself, as not as powerful as I was hoping. But looking good. What they hit off the top? Ah, Nibelheim Flame. I was like, what art is that? But holding our breath. Holding our breath. Yeah, flying. Flying. Let's go. See you gamers in round. All right. Here we go into game number 3, match number 3. And see what we can find. We're going to play first. A bit of a sketchy, but if we have any one land, then we're up to all these cards to hopefully help get us there. So I'm going to keep this. I understand the risks, but we have some ways to fend off some early threats. In theory, we have some ways to fix for green if we ever do get there. Even if everything gets locked down, we also have ways to, I guess, sacrifice some artifacts and draw a card, even though it's a little bit long term. Island, go. Never, didn't have it. Had the whole time. Easy keep. I don't know why you question me. Poo-poo UFO. What am I supposed to do against this? Thief's Knife. Poo-poo UFO might be something that we want to stuck in the Summoner's Sanctum. Especially if it means that we're going to be able to connect with the Thief's Knife. I like that play a lot more if we're going to draw a card out of it. There's also a possibility they just like tap it here and play something else that we can then stuck in the Summoner's Sanctum, which would be nice. Blazing Bomb. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play this thing. It's already a 1/4. But could very easily, depending on how many towns they have, like get up there. And then yeah, we'll draw a card. Alright, Thief's Knife is great. Never didn't have it the whole time. Yikes, Call Mountain Chocobo looks good. Kill off our thing. I mean, that's kind of fine with us. If we just equip here and swing in, are you going to just jump with your chocobo? Yeah, I mean, this is working. 2 cards off the Thief's Knife? Don't mind if I do. Yeah, let's go. And we get our land for turn. Oof. Does not get much better than that. Alright, they have land. They get in, hopefully, with their chocobo. Because they're not really blocking with it, so might as well be attacking. That makes sense. And now what are we doing? Ice Magic, Scorpion Sentinel. No, that's fine. It can go at the bottom. We hit Chocobo. I think we're just going to summon a Titan. Boom. Here's a Titan. Couple lands, couple non-lands. Red source being good in there. See what you're doing with the Titan. Call of the Mountain Chocobo again. Okay. I think this just means we get our lands back. Sahagin, yeah, that's good. Okay. Lands on the battlefield. We are going to... I think we just attack. I was debating about equipping, but we're just going to attack. And the reason why we're just going to attack is because we want to play a Dragoon's Wyvern to have 2 different things that can be targeted with Summon Titan's 3rd ability. So now, unless they have a removal spell for the Dragoon's Wyvern and the token, and realize that that's what they have to do, I think we've got lethal on board, right? It's +X or X's lands. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this would go to 8? Yeah. So what happens is we go on to Dragoon's Wyvern. We have a bunch there. We're going to play this. And I think we just attack in the air and see what they do. Like, if they bounce it, if they have an answer, nah, they just dead. Love that. Absolutely adore it. Summon Titan being worth the splash. Like to see that. Not too concerned with much else. We could bring in this airship crash if we think that the poo-poo UFO is going to be too much, but just let it rip. All right, let's see if we can get that trophy. Could be our first trophy in a YouTube video if I remember right. Ooh, this is interesting. Part of me really wants to... I think we keep the hand. Part of me really wants to go on green because then we just go like Yashi Green's Chocobo Kick and then pick it up and play it on blue again. Plus, also we've got more islands in the deck, so I think that is we're more likely to draw on islands. So now we don't even have to take that play. We can if we want to, but I don't think we will likely need to. Very interesting. Originally, I was going to just say, like, Dragoon's Wyvern's fine. And maybe it probably still is. But now Chocobo Kick also feeling a little bit more interesting. But I think we're just going to Dragoon's Wyvern because I think we're winning this race. Especially with some tempo plays like Chocobo Kick and Eject, or being able to, you know, Quista Stripe some of their stuff. There's a good possibility that this turn is like Chocobo Kick, World Map, go get another land, so then the following turn we can go Quista Stripe, Chocobo Kick. And then I just, you know, depending on what they play, I don't know how much they're going to be able to come back from that. Alternatively, if they play a token thing, which is very common on 4 because you want your non-creatures, then we could always just eject the token. And they already realize that they're on the defense here. Because Gyashi Green's Flash is back, I'm a little bit less concerned about that, so we're just going to attack. But the Ilmeg Pixie not attacking and not blocking is a little sketchy. But maybe they felt once we ejected their token that they felt like they needed to attack. Yikes, what's going on over there? Alright, we're going to play our island. We're going to get in and just see what happens. They're ejecting our token, sure. That makes sense. And we can... There's a couple things we can do. We can go Quista Stripe, Gyashi Greens, and then I hope that's enough. I don't think that's a great idea, so I'm just going to play World Map. And I think I'm going to Chocobo Kick right away, just to get rid of this. And then we probably go World Map for like an island, I think. Emperor of Palamecia, very good. Side quest, draw a bunch of cards. Oh, this isn't going to flip exactly, right? Because they're going to pitch 2 cards. That's going to put them at 7, and this flips at 8, right? 8 or more, and they're at 5, so this is 6, 7. We're going to go get an island, I believe. Okay, we go Quistis Trape. Could go like combat tutorial, but I don't think that's a great... I mean, it removes a card from their graveyard, but I think we're just going to Chocobo Kick. Pick up the same island. Get in for 3. And see what happens. If they don't have a creature, then they also can't crew their vehicle. I don't think there's too many flash creatures in the format. Okay. Mountain Chocobo's a good one. And a Scorpion Sentinel. That's very good. Okay, so let's Dreams. Suplex is kind of what we're looking for here. Another Dreams. Okay, so I think that just means we pass. See what they do. And then Dreams on end step. Yep. I'll trade off for the Chocobo, I think. I want to keep him flyer as best I can. That's a good one. But also not very powerful this turn. So this kind of opens things up if we hit like a suplex. Or something of our own. That's interesting too. All right. Poo-poo UFO. You got it. Yeah, suplex. We can go saucer, suplex, travel the overworld. Which feels pretty good. What are we suplexing though? I feel like if we suplex their 4/4 here, there's like less to do. But maybe it's just the UFO and get them on flyers. Yeah, that's fine. We'll suplex this. Well, no, that's an extra blocker. So we're gonna suplex the UFO. We're gonna chump block the 4/4. And then next turn we can go like traveling Chocobo. I don't know, into some other stuff. And see what happens. What cards are we looking to draw? Nimble Helm of Flame is not particularly good here. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. We got 2 of those. That'd be a good one to hit. Ice Magic, Thunder Magic. Also both very good. Let's see what's going on here. Sahagin, sure. Sure. suplex, okay. Oh wow, we're just going all out. Dang, look at that. All right, I guess we're chumping. Wow, what a turn. Okay. So we're going to start with Traveling Chocobo. We're going to move to Nibble Helm of Flame. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Even if we end up killing everything. Thanks. Then, like, they just flash us back and the vehicle gets us. I don't think there's really anything super crazy that we should have done. Or should have changed. So let's just go ahead and draw better in game 3. Moving on to game 3. Match 3. For all the marbles. Put them on the table. We're going to play first. We got lands, we got spells, we got big spells. Start with mountain in case we draw like a thunder magic or something. Move it to island here, which is great for the Dreams of Laguna. That's good call out. Oh yeah. We'll keep that, I think. Opens us up for a double spell here, hopefully in a turn or two. I've been very low on this equipment. I don't think it's particularly strong. Especially because there's just so many other 1/1s that are running around. The untap is just, I don't know. Yeah. Great draw, so we'll put that in there. Grab our mountain, which is the second one we need for Nibble Helm of Flame. Continue to peck in. Get it? Peck. We'll see where our opponents are at. Fire magic for 1. Poo-poo UFO. Okay. This kind of gets us to attack in for free. I know it doesn't really do a whole lot against the poo-poo, but it does allow us to start getting more things on the board and attacking around the UFO. Oh, sick. What a rip. All right. Put this right here. And then like a Gyashi Greens looks good too. Am I getting tempoed by the UFO? That'd be pretty incredible. Put a land on the battlefield, sure. Now what? It just sits there. Okay, great. Get in for 3. Noctis or New Liths does play well against this, right? Like they can still untap this now with the New Liths. So it's not like a permanent answer, but it's the answer we have. Greens. That's a tough go about things, but we're going to get syncopated for most things anyway, so if it's Gyashi Greens, it's not the end of the world. Yep. Pixie. Chocobo. Get our last mountain. Play that mountain. see if they want to trade for the Pixie. No, it looks like they've got Eject. Okay. Play the world map. Take a look at our deck and see we have Capital City. So, you know, if we pay 5 mana, we could draw a card. Not terrible. Alternatively, what's likely going to happen, at least something I could see happening, is using Nibblehebble Flame. Otherwise, we'll just end up drawing with Dreams of Laguna and seeing what happens there. Sure, they attack with this. A little surprised they didn't equip to untap their UFO. Right, like it's 3 to equip, but it depends on what they want to do with all their mana. Kept on top. A little terrifying. Capital City, I see. All right, well, let's Gold Saucer. Let's get in. I think we want to search for our land first, and then we're going to Dreams of Laguna. Yeah, that's a good one. Rip that right off the top. And then, I don't know if we're going to swap this or not. What do we got over here? Combat tutorial looking very sharp. Very happy with that, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Gonna make a treasure. Yeah, we made a treasure. Let's go. Summon Titan, huh? All right, we're gonna slow play this a little bit. We could Light of Judgment this thing. We could also combat tutorials, draw cards. Our 3/3 doesn't really do anything on this board though, but then we could also draw something like a Suplex, an Ice Magic, a Thunder Magic, a Sleep Magic. Okay, we're gonna take the combat tutorial. Notably, this targets both us and the creatures, so even if they were to kill our creature, we still get to draw our card. But it looks like we don't, because they're going to counter it. Fine. I think that's going to give us an opportunity to cycle this and see what happens. Thunder Magic. Okay, we're going to give it a turn. I don't think we need to Thunder Magic their Pixie right away. If they happen to equip their Nuliths on the Pixie, we might do that. But otherwise, we're probably just going to Thunder Magic on the Sentinel. Okay, now I think we're going to probably pick this off. Sure. And then this is likely something that's good enough to chump block 4 in the moment. So our Summon Titan can hit the board. It's funny, it looks like they're kind of doing the exact same thing we're doing of like deploying a couple threats and then tempoing things out. Our threats are bigger, but their like tempo spells are better. All right. We are churning through our deck because we're going to mill 5 here. Oh, that's kind of nice. And then we'll also end up like discarding our hand and drawing 4, which is a little scary, but we've got 13 in the deck. We're probably going to draw 1 now, 1 then. That puts us at 11. See what happens. in a moment. We also want to make sure we have another... okay. Make sure we have another creature spell on the battlefield. Ice magic. Thief's knife, I don't think we want. Yeah, we'll put this on top. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, so I think we're going to play the Summon Titan again. Puts us to 6 cards. And then we can play the Call the Mountain Chocobo, which I don't think is a good idea because if they just play this, then this and this get in. So we want to make sure we have this stuck to Summer's Sanctum. And just hope that, like, this spell isn't it. Okay. That kind of helps. But, like, we're dead to an ice magic now. Do we have anything that deals damage to face? Let's look. No. No, we don't. All right. We probably have to block the flyer and go to 1, I think. Yeah. Because we don't have too many flyers in the deck. Here we go. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Nimble Helm of Flame would put us to 1 card in hand. Or 1 card in deck. But then we'd get to draw 4 cards. Very tight, very close matches. And really the only reason why we're even in this game is because Summon Titan has been as powerful as it is. Yep, put a town into play. They're at 8 cards, so there's no way that that's really happening. We're gonna flip our coin. Sleep magic, okay. So let's, oh, this is just a thing coming back. Let's actually play Sleep Magic and Call of the Mountain Chocobo rather than Nibelheim of Flame. Because next turn, what can happen is we can give this plus 10 or 15 or whatever, and then wipe the entire board and go to 0 cards in deck. They suplex that, okay. They play their own Chocobo. Yeah. That tracks. So now we need... We've got one of 3 creatures. Dragoon's Wyvern, Kikarin Merchant, and Traveling Chocobo are the 3 things that we have. The Merchant. It's like the worst option. Nibelheim of Flame is gone, I think. Like, I don't think we can play it anymore. Yep. Oh, we're going to have to chump. Yeah. That's not the end of the world. We are not officially dead. Because we chump here. We have a draw. I should have untapped one of their other creatures. But... yeah, that's not great. Okay, so if we flip a treasure, we can then draw like a creature and then
sacrifice both treasures and draw another creature. But we need a treasure here. Yo, we got it. Now we need to draw a creature. No, we didn't draw a creature. There's one land left in the deck, and... Oh, we could draw a Dragoon's Wyvern. Yeah, there you go. But realistically, we're all kind of dead, so... Like, we chump. Like, or we trade and chump. Yeah, this is... The game is over. That's okay. We'll do this. And be done. Oh, so close, huh? So close, but not good enough, it seems. Deck was a little mid, honestly. I'm very pleased with a 2-1, almost a 3-0 with this sort of thing. Not too thrilled with the deck. Obviously, Summon Titan seemed incredible. Call Mountain Chocobos were good. Just in general, the card quality was fine, but there was no real cohesive theme, which I think you really need in this format. So we'll try again next time. Cheers. Thanks so much for hanging out, everyone. Talk to you soon.